VOO and VTI are two of the most popular ETFs for building a long-term portfolio. They both cost just 0.03%. Both are dominated by the same giant US companies, and both can look like a perfectly reasonable answer. So why do investors keep arguing about which one to buy? The useful answer is not that one fund is the winner. It is that they give you two slightly different definitions of the US stock market. By the end, you will know what each fund owns, why their results can look so similar, and which decision matters more than the ticker. Start with VOO. VOO is designed to track the S&P 500, an index of roughly 500 large US companies. It is a large company slice of the market, not a list of every public company. The index includes familiar names across technology, healthcare, finance, consumer businesses, and other major sectors. You are buying a simple idea. If large American companies grow over time, the fund participates. Now VTI. VTI tracks the CRSP US Total Market Index. The fund holds more than 3,500 stocks, including large, medium, and small US companies. That makes the portfolio broader. It owns the same mega-cap names that dominate VOO, but it also reaches further down the market cap ladder. That sounds like a dramatic difference until you look at what is actually driving the portfolios. The biggest companies make up a large part of the US market. So even though VTI owns thousands more stocks, much of its movement still comes from the same large companies found in VOO. More holdings does not automatically mean a completely different experience. This is the first decision point. If you want a focused large company core, VOO is the cleaner description. If you want the broadest single fund exposure to publicly traded US companies, VTI is the cleaner description. Neither description is a promise of higher returns. It simply tells you what you are choosing to include. What about performance? This is where comparison videos can become misleading. One fund may lead over a recent period because large companies, small companies, or a particular sector had a better run. That lead can reverse. Looking at the latest winner and assuming it will stay the winner is a form of performance chasing. The expense ratio does not settle the debate either. Both funds currently list a 0.03% expense ratio, so the fee difference is effectively not the deciding factor. The bigger question is whether you want the portfolio rule to stop at large companies or keep reaching into medium and small companies. There are 3 checks to make before choosing. First, check your goal and time horizon. A long-term stock allocation can tolerate market declines better than money needed soon. But neither ETF removes market risk. If you hold one fund in a retirement account and the other in a brokerage account, adding more may create overlap rather than more diversification. Third, check the gap your portfolio still has. VOO and VTI are both US equity funds. Neither one gives you meaningful international stocks or bonds. So the bigger allocation question may be what sits beside the fund, not which of these two sits at the center. So which one makes sense? Choose VOO if the S&P 500 is the exposure you deliberately want. Choose VTI if you prefer one fund that includes large, medium, and small US companies. If you already own one, changing solely because a recent chart shows the other ahead may create activity without improving your plan. The calm answer is that VOO and VTI are not enemies. They are two ways to draw the boundary around the US market. Define the boundary first, then choose the ticker that matches it. Tell us in the comments, do you prefer the focused S&P 500 approach of VOO or the broader US market approach of VTI, and why?